Hey guys, this is Abe, and this is a quick recap video for today's trades. And I'm going to go ahead and dive into the chart real quick. And this is the chart for ES over here. And this morning, actually, we end up taking a trade for DEX for delta exposure, basically. Let's just talk a little bit about yesterday, how the drop happened. First of all, this is something honestly I didn't see right after the FOMC whenever they went back up over here to mitigate off of this golden box, and from there they dropped. The key level that I had was the 38.35, and we broke that, and we even continued and hit the next target down. Now, which would have been 3781.25. And overnight, we pushed a little bit down, a little bit more, and we went back up to about 38.35 area. I was hoping this was gonna happen in the morning to go up here to short it from this area because, again, this is a key level, so a break of it more than likely will have a retest, and a rejection will take us back down to this target. However, that happened before and it happened overnight, so we weren't able to trade it. However, this morning, this is where the market started around this red arrow. This was the first 5 minute candle for the opening. And what we did was, if we go on a smaller time frame, even over here, we see that we actually went up a little bit, kind of like mitigate here in this area, try to trick the bulls into getting into the kind of like a buy for the market, thinking like, hey, we probably come back and uh, go test this area over here, 38.35 or so. However, I kind of wanted to wait a little bit to see what's going on because, if I try to take a call over here on this level, I know that there's a target down here that hasn't hit again. There's a possibility that we come back and retest it because remember, overnight we tested right over here. Let me go ahead and uh, throw in my brush. We tested over here in this area, and then chances are, like I said, we'll come back and test this level. This level 3871, I got it from a previous support. That was from this area over here. You see this, kind of like 1 hour candle wick over here back from July. So chances are we probably will come back here. The other thing that I thought is that we will come back down here because overnight this choppy area over here will probably get retested. So how did I end up deciding to take the short on SPY? So go back on the 5 minutes over here. So as you guys can see here in this area, this low, we were making lower lows, lower highs, right? And that was pre-market open. And I'm gonna change this color over here to red. And as you guys can see over here, we opened the market, try to pull up a little bit. I guess they were trying to trick some bulls into probably jumping in. And then at the same time, if I'm going to go ahead and switch to the market net flow, I was looking at the market net flow. As you guys can see here in the beginning of the market, calls spiked above zero and puts spiked, I'm sorry, calls dropped below zero big time and call and puts kind of went up, right? And you guys can see the momentum over here. You see these red bars. The momentum to the downside was very heavy. And so this here, this area, as you guys can see, this represent a bullish cross. I'm sorry, a bearish cross. And so you have puts over the zero, calls below the zero, going down. You have these red bars over here. It's showing that the flow is heavily bearish. And so I took that, or I signaled that put basically on the break of the slow, because chances are, what are we going to do? Go lower lows. But where my target would be? My target would be down here. Actually, we could have waited until we hit the slow over here at 37.7750, but I'll tell you why I did not hold that long and I exited. To go back on the market net flow, as you guys can see over here, the puts started dropping a little bit. Even though the momentum was still strong, this is around the area where we started kind of showing a little bit of a chop. Like I said before, if these two lines, the calls and the puts, are close to the zero and they're close to each other, or if they're both below the zero, that's chop. That's all it is. It's chop. And so what you want to see uh, is a clear direction. You would see the puts moving up and the calls moving down. That means it's a clear direction and we will continue. But we knew and we know from experience that since we've had a large move yesterday due to the FOMC, chances are we're not going to be making a huge move today. There could be another leg down. We're not saying there is not, but there seems to be, chances are the Bulls are going to try to hold some levels and they're going to try to defend these lows. To go back here to the chart, as you guys can see, we did hit this level over here. This is kind of where I exited in this area. And see these two arrows over here indicate basically entry and exit, even though the entry was basically at the break of this line over here. Um, you know, Normally when DEX shows a red bar like it did yesterday, the strategy technically says, well, you hold from open to close, but I hold from level to level. I don't want to hold from open to close because look at this. This move up would have wiped out what we had and probably closed us at loss. This move over here would have wiped out probably what we had. And as a matter of fact, I'm trying to look over here on the contract that we had. Probably right now, it's barely sitting in profit. It would have definitely showed loss over here. So why sit in that and struggle when I can make some money over here day in and day out, right? Like just take my level to level and just, make my money. I mean, that's all I need to do. So it's to me, I think it was a pretty clean, it was a pretty clean trade. I'm not gonna sit here and say, well, you know, I knew it was gonna come down here and there. Now, chances are, like I said, if we tested this level up here, the 38, 35, we're gonna drop down and test this level again. And from here, if you look at the overall picture, again, we had a pretty strong move yesterday. So chances are today we'll try to take a breather. Now, when would I look for a move that would go to the other side, like if it's going to squeeze? Well, to me, you need to take this level out. This 38.35 needs to be taken out. If this got taken out, chances are we probably move all the way upwards of 3900 or maybe a little bit more. But then again, you still have another resistance at around 39.25 and in this area over here. You technically are not going to be moving in a bullish move or a strong bullish move, in my opinion, as of right now, as it sits of right now until we break and hold over 38.35. If that happens, chances are, and if it rejects the downside, bulls hold it, chances are you will move upwards of 3900. Now, if this continues to reject right here in this area, what are my chances to go down? Well, they're pretty high. Your next target down is going to be 37.42 over here, but as you guys can see, the overnight lows held up pretty good, even though it was a little bit of a fake breakdown. I did not want to get into it again because whenever you look at the market net flow, this thing does not look very clean. It looks choppy for the most part. Okay, you want to see a clean move to the upside on the puts and a clean move to the downside on the call. And that didn't really happen until about now, which we know the volume is really low, usually around noon anyway. So I'm just taking it with a grain of salt. I'm not going to be taking any actions based off of that. But yeah, that's basically why I took that DEX trade SPY put. And, technically we could have held if we wanted to for longer, but, why risk that? Why chance that when there is always a potential for a bounce relief from such a move to the downside? You just have to think this move up here might get tested at some point. And so, I don't want to be on the wrong side of the trade when that happens. I would rather take my 10, 20, whatever 30% I made and take the money and run and secure that profit day to day rather than just hold and hope because that's how you grow your account, right? You just secure profit and small profits add up. The second setup I want to take a look at real quick over here was Tesla. This was mentioned in a previous video. As you guys can see here on the chart, it was actually drawn previously. It was actually mentioned probably on the 19th or so. And I was saying that, okay, if we break below, you have your trend line over here, and if you break below this level over here at 305, there is chances that you're going to continue lower, right? So they did that yesterday, and today they actually, to my surprise, they just continued all the way down. I mean, this thing was a beast. The move on Tesla was, if you were short on Tesla today, congratulations, you did amazing. There is another deal. I don't know where there's a line over here that I did not, I may have deleted, I'm not sure. It was actually sitting right over here is when I actually talked about it in the video, the break of 295.66, and these would have been the two targets, and obviously both targets hit. The only reason I did not take this trade when this alert triggered for me was because of the market net flow and the way that ES is looking. ES was looking very choppy today. And with that, you know, I'm not going to try to risk it when I had a green day and a move on Tesla had already done, for the day, it had already done about like almost 2% or so when it dropped here. Obviously, Tesla can do a lot more. I'm not saying it can't, but when you think about it, is that okay? Could it be a fake breakdown? Because look over here on the 5 minute time frame, even on the 15-minute time frame, if you look over here, it looked like it was about to reverse and they were actually trapping people. But then I started seeing on the flow, on the option flow, a lot of puts coming in with short expiration, like for the 23rd, and it started pushing down and down and down and down. I'm pretty sure Excalibur had his Tesla puts today, so congratulations. I think he did pretty well. Uh, but yeah, aside from that, even if you're short on Tesla, I was telling the guys that this would have been the target, this 289.35. I wouldn't have went any further than that because again, this is a very large move. Chances are we probably bounce from there. If we come back and reject this area over here, 295, maybe all the way upwards of 300. If we go there and start rejecting, it might be worth considering shorting. But again, keep an eye on ES whenever see how the market is moving. If we take out this 38.35, which is about 100 and something points from where we at, then I would definitely think, okay, well, we're probably going to bounce back up and have a decent move. But as of right now, as we sit here, honestly, this might be just a range area where you're going to see a lot of chop left and right. As we sit right now, try to take a look at DEX for the day today. I don't see a print yet for DEX. This is just, I'm gonna go ahead and refresh it just to see. DEX does best whenever you check it towards end of day because that's when it gives you the cumulative delta. This last red bar that we have over here, this was from yesterday. So as of today, today's bar is hardly there. It's slightly red, but it's hardly there. So it's not giving me any bias towards tomorrow, whether it's bullish or bearish. So I'm just probably going to hold off to see what happens between now and the end of day. And we will publish our plan for the trade for tomorrow based on how the day closes. Thank you so much for watching. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to DM me. If it's the first time for you watching this video, we have the link for our Discord group where you can trade free with us for the first month. Just come join the Discord and ask for the coupon code for the first free month. We would love to see you there. And please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys. Have a great day.